What's good, everyone? Welcome back to another video. This video I'm going to be teaching you guys how to do some basic transitions for your music videos, and without further ado, let's get straight into it. So first thing you want to do is you're going to want to get your clip, as I have here, and if you want you can mark like the exact frame where it switches, and you're going to want to start out with creating an adjustment layer and go 10 frames back from this frame switch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cut it. Go back to here and then do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cut it. And you can just name this blur. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to add a bit of a shake on top of it. Right? Low amplitude like 0.3 and a frequency of like maybe 4 or something. You're going to want to come over here to tilt shake and set this to like 0.5-ish, maybe 5. And make sure this Y shake is at 0, and you can leave the X shake like it is. Keyframe it, make sure it's at the top, and then just go to the end and set both ends to 0. Make the frequency a bit more like 8. Keyframe like easy ease by just pressing F9. Next thing you want to add is any sort of blur. I'm using like a BCC plugin, Lens Blur OBS, and if it has like an iris scale value, you can make it like 4 or something like that. Nothing too blurry. And do the same thing as before. 0, 0. Set them to easy ease. So now you should have something like this. Bit of a blur. That's kind of like the top layer. It's like the first kind of like touch to it. And the next thing you want to do is create 2 more adjustment layers and cut both of them at the middle and have them set up kind of like this. Like one of them goes to the left, one of them goes to the right, and just cut them to the duration of the top adjustment layer. And so on this first one, you're going to want to do blur motion curves. Keyframe this C distance thing. Make sure both of these are set to reflect. And the first thing we're going to do is a zoom out. So you're going to want to come here and set it to like 1.3 or 1.4. And in the graph, you want to click on this thing right here and bring them both to the corner. And you're going to want to select this layer, add blur motion curves, set this to like 0.3. Bring this here to the end, 1, and make it like a really fast fade, something like this, something like this. If you can't really see like the first zoom out, you can kind of change the curve a bit so that it's like a little bit faster, something like this. You can make the Z distance something higher, like 1.5. Should look something like that. And yeah, that's pretty much how you do the basic zoom out. Alright, so for the zoom in, you can kind of clear these adjustment layers, these first 2, but leave this top one as it is. And again, you're going to want to add blur mode curves to both of them. And you're kind of going to want to do the inverse of what you did last time. You're going to want to keyframe the first one here, and at the middle, set it to like 0.3. And then at the end, second one, put blur mode curves and make it like 1.5. Make sure both wraps are set to reflect. And at the very end, set it to 1. and similar kind of graph like the slow fade. A really useful plugin for this kind of stuff is this graph plugin. It's called Flow, where you can basically just customize it here, and you click apply, and it sets over here as you saw. But for the people who don't have it, I'll just show you how to do it real quick. Just bring it like here, and here as well. This one's got to be faster, so you go like this, and it should look something like this. And yeah, that's pretty much basic zoom in plugin. Alright, now for the swipe plugins, again, keep this top layer. This top layer is gonna be like, it's gonna be like just the kind of like universal part of the transition. It's gonna be on all of them. The only things that are gonna change are these two kind of adjustment layers. And again, add blur motion curves to both effects, except this time we're not going to be keyframing the Z distance value. I'm going to keyframing this Shift X value, so you can just select Wrap X to reflect for both of them. And you're going to want to bring it to the middle and set it to something like 500 or 600. So it should look something like that. And again, make it like a slower fade. And basically, the value that you're going to have on this next one is just like the negative version of whatever value you had there. So if we had 600 at the end of the first one, set this to negative 600, keyframe it, bring it to 0, and set it to a faster fade. Something like this. And that's how you do kind of like a swipe left. If you want to do a swipe right, you switch the negative values. So you would make this one positive 600, make this one negative 600. Make sure the graphs are like the same. The graphs might get messed up when you change the values. So just fix them up a bit. And it should look something like this. The other direction. And that's how you pretty much do like side swipe transitions. And for the third and final kind of like transition, you're going to want to do like up or down swipe transitions. And for this one, you're going to be keyframing the Shift Y part of this effect, which the plugin will be in the description. And you're going to want to come here, again, set it to like 500. Second one, set it to negative 500. Make sure this wrap Y is keyframed, or else it'll look like set it to reflect. This one's at 500, this one's at negative 500, bring it to 0 at the end, and do the same graphs as usual. Fast fade for the first one, slow fade for the second one, so it looks like smooth. Have it set up. And do the same graphs as kind of like the usual ones. Slow fade for the first one, fast fade for the second one, the usual deal. And should look something like this. And of course, you can change the negatives for the values to make it go in the other direction, fix up the graph, and should look something like this. And yeah, these are all kind of clean transitions that you can mix up. You can always like add other effects onto it, like a distort, right? Just at like point, somewhere really low, like 0.0 something. Let's keyframe this. Boom. Boom. And then it should look something like this. Just adds like extra touch. You can add like colors to it or whatever. It's really up to like whatever you choose, your creativity. And yeah, that's it for today's video. If you did enjoy, do be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.